No, this is not a get ready with me. This is just me putting on my lip gloss. It's the dark moon. For those of you who know me, hi. For those of you who don't, I'm Yasmin Boland and I'm an astrologer and a moonologer. And I've just moved my office around after, I can't even say how long because it's just too shocking of wanting to do it. And I'm here to talk about the dark moon. Sorry about my squeaky chair. I've got this beautiful egg chair, which I'm going to bring down here, but I don't have it right now. So the dark moon, the dark moon, the dark moon. So, okay, so basically what you need to know about the dark moon is that it's the moment just before the new moon. Now, if you don't know how to tell when the dark moon is and when the new moon is, then I highly recommend you grab yourself a copy of my Moonology Diary. That's the one for this year. This is the beautiful one for next year, which is selling like hotcakes and will sell out. So if you want to grab it now. And also, oh my God, if you need a last minute Christmas present, I think you can still get it. If you order it from Amazon, you'll get it on time, or it can be an amazing New Year's present for someone. And what you do is you look in there and it will tell you when the dark moon is and when the new moon is. Okay, so what we're about to have is we're about to have the new moon. It's actually going to take place tomorrow, London time. So it'll be Saturday, London time in the wee small hours. It's going to be, so it says there, December 19, dark moon, which is where we are now. And we're going to have the new moon in Sagittarius. So right now, the dark moon is actually taking place in the sign of Sagittarius because the new moon is going to take place at the very end of Sagittarius at 28 degrees. So what I wanted to do now was sort of hop on and give you an update and just talk about really what we can do with the dark moon. And what I'm going to do later is I'm going to do some release work myself. I've got a little, here I've got my little fire pit. I was actually thinking I was going to do that with you guys, but I didn't hang on, I still could actually. Can you hear me? I'm talking. I still could do it. I actually think I might do it. I'm actually going to do it. We're going to do a little release session together. How about that for an idea? I've managed to find, because I've been clearing out my office, a whole lot of stuff's been sort of disappearing and a whole lot of stuff's been turning off. But what I've got is this very little fire pit. I'm just seeing if I've got it. I do have a fire alarm in this office. It might set the fire alarm off, but let's have a go anyway. If I set off the fire alarm, I'll just end the session because it will be too noisy and too annoying. But what I'm going to say then, okay, so the dark moon is the time to let go and release anything negative from your life. Now, obviously, we kind of want to do that every day anyway. You know, like attracts like. So if you're filled with anger and upset, you're just going to attract more of it. And, you know, there's a whole lot of information coming out now about the neural pathways that we create when we keep, you know, going on and on and on about whatever we don't want, you know. So if we're constantly complaining about someone or something, all we're doing is kind of sending a message to our brain that kind of gets, it's a bit like if you're, you know, if you had a, I don't know, let's say you had even just a fork on a piece of wood, okay, a bit random, but you know, if you had a fork and you were kind of like scoring a line in a piece of wood, you know, as you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, that scoring will get deeper and deeper and deeper. And, so the whole problem is that like attracts like unto itself is drawn. So when we just keep going on negative, 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 what are we going to attract? More of the same. And so the reason why we particularly do release work, we do it at the full moon as well, but the dark moon is sort of like the last chance of the month to do the release work of the negativity before the new moon. The new moon will take place tomorrow. Again, you'll have to look in the diary for the exact, shall I quickly tell you? No, it's all right. But if you've got the diary, all the times around the world are in there. I'm not sure what time it is, but I know I'm doing a new moon event tomorrow, so it's sometime. Oh, I think it's actually 1:43 a.m. London time, so sort of add 5 hours of that for New York and about 8 hours for LA and about 11 hours for Sydney, but again, it's in the diary. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of release work here and now. So I'm going to do a card. I actually have my new Dark Moon Oracle cards here, which are not on sale yet, but you can pre-order them on Amazon if you want to. So we'll do a card, but first of all, I want the card to be about what we are releasing, okay? So it's called the Dark Moon because actually right now, depending on where you are in the world, if you're in Australia, it's nighttime, for example, or New Zealand, you can't see the moon. I defy you to go outside and try and see the moon. You can't see the moon at this time of the year, and the ancients used to get very freaked out by this and think it was the death of the moon. It was before they kind of understood the lunar cycles, I suppose. But it's also a time, so it's when the moon becomes hidden. And so it's very much a time when we kind of go into the void and release the negativity that we don't want to have in our lives come the new moon tomorrow. Because if you're new to Moonology, you may not know the new moon is the time to set intentions. And in fact, I've just been speaking to someone this week about this whole system of Moonology that I've devised over the last 20 years. Actually, maybe even 25 years. And basically, you know, what I was saying was, the thing is that what people don't understand about what we do in Moonology is that you don't actually have to believe in astrology or Moonology for this to work. For the older or the Australians of a certain age, you know, you guys will remember, like I do, Kerry Ann Kennelly, who ruled morning daytime television for years and years and years in Australia. She was a wonderful woman, a Virgo. I used to go on her show quite a lot when I was back in the day. And I often quote her the time she said, oh, the good thing about this, Yasmin, is you don't have to believe in astrology for it to work. And she's 100% right. You don't, even if you're kind of like skeptical, like, oh, the new moon, what is that? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't matter. Once a month, sit down at the dark moon, which is where we are right now, just before the new moon, and just set an intention to releasing something that you know you need to release. So it might be upset with someone, it might be you've had a relationship breakdown, or you've made a mistake at work and it's really been bugging you, or you know, you feel you've let yourself down in some other way, or you've let someone else down, or someone's let you down, or whatever the situation, and just commit to letting it go. I can see someone's making a comment there. Let me try and see if I can read that. Miss listening to you weekly. Oh, well, you can still listen to me weekly. I do a weekly podcast. Just search for mainly Moonology, and I do a weekly podcast. And I've actually been doing daily lives here, but unfortunately, I believe 2 of them didn't upload. Something was wrong with my, I think it's because of the office setup. I didn't connect something properly, but anyway, this seems to be working. Anyway, so what I'm going to say is, let's do this order, okay? We're going to write down what we're releasing. I'm going to write it down on this old piece of paper, which is a bit scary because it's got so many things written on it. But I think I've kind of crossed them all off. Pretty sure it's okay to use that. You know what? I might just use another sheet of paper. There's too many things written on there. Look, I've just got like, I've got to-do lists everywhere. I really want to do this, so just bear with me. I'm grabbing a sheet of paper. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what should we say? How would I say it? Symbolically, I'm going to burn a piece of paper for everybody, okay? I'm going to make it a bit smaller so I've got slightly less chance of setting off the fire alarm. But what I'm going to ask you to do is silently or out loud, or better yet, put it in the comments if you dare. What are you releasing? what do you know is negative in your life? Okay, it is amazing how if you set the intention, and then we're going to call in divine assistance, but if you set the intention, I just want to let this stuff go, okay? So we'll do that. We're going to write it down. We're going to burn it. We're going to do a card for kind of a bit of guidance about whatever it is that we want to release. And then we are going to finish with a dark moon chant. All right, okay. So I am going to write on this piece of paper what I'm releasing, but I'm also going to write that I symbolically release everything that you are writing down in the comments. So I release everything in the comments, just because it's really good to turn things into fire, because that sort of transmutes it into the ethers. And I release, what do I need to release? I've had so many big releases in the last few weeks. I don't know what I need to release today. Okay, I know. I'm tempted to tell you what it is because it's not that private. But I also am kind of a believer that you don't sort of tell people what you're manifesting. So, although it's really, really good to state your intentions as well. So since it's not too private and it's not really, it's just an intention. It's not a manifesting thing. It's an intention to release, okay? So I'm going to tell you. So I release being stuck with clearing up this office. Like, I cannot tell you how much better it is since I did some work with it this week. But I've still got a lot of stuff everywhere that needs to either be thrown away or given away or, you know, put on a shelf or whatever. So I release being stuck with cleaning up my mess in general and my office in particular. All right, so what we're going to do is actually I'm going to chant as I burn it, and then we'll do the card. Actually, no, let's do the card first. Okay, tell me in the comments, can you feel a new energy? Because I can feel a really new energy. I think it's because I've moved my office around. Can you feel a new energy around this broadcast? I'd be curious to know. Let me know. It's a different perspective as well. And also, now you can see my whole body instead of just my head. All right, so if this card is for you, put it in the comments. This card is for me, okay, and my dark moon intentions. Let me see what we're going to get. So I don't know if you know about my new cards. I don't know if I can see a box. Yeah, there's a box. Hang on, let me just get it. This is the box that they come in. And would you believe I've been told by Hay House not to show all of the cards at once because there are so many counterfeiters out there who try and rip it off. It's ridiculous. But of course I'm doing as I'm asked. So this is the Dark Moon Oracle deck, which is coming out in February. You can pre-order it now, and I'll give you a link pretty soon to some bonuses you'll get if you pre-order it. You'll be able to register it once you've pre-ordered it. And I'm not going to lie, they're intense, okay? They're really effing intense. So I'm always a bit nervous to draw a card from this deck. They're 50-50, but 50% of them are like, you know, really intense. So if you like intense, they're going to be up your street. But if you're a bit of a wimp like me, even though I wrote them, you're going to be like, okay, am I really ready for what the cards are going to say? And it says in there, when you're ready for the truth, ask the dark moon, okay? So we'll look at this. If this card is for you, thinking about whatever it is you say you're letting go. Sorry for jiggling around. Oh, okay, here we go. Gosh, this is interesting because we had this card a few days ago, another deck that I've got, which has a similar message. But we've got the Dark Moon Gemini card, which is, oops daisy, which is communication. Look at that beautiful card. Aren't they beautiful? They are, I think, amongst the first round cards that have been made for oracle cards. Okay, let's have a look at the book. Let's see what the book tells us, and then we will chant and burn. Chant and burn. All right. Dark Moon. No, sorry, what number is it? We've actually got numbers on these cards. 38. I've been trying to get numbers on my cards for so long. All right, 38. So these are from the Rebirth suit. So there's 4 suits in the deck. This is the Rebirth suit. These cards invite you to dream again, to feel hope. So these are not the super duper dark ones. And to believe in new possibilities. They remind you that from the void comes new life. All right, okay. Are you ready for the reading? And then we'll chant and burn. Here we go. All right, let me just hold that up so you can see it. All right, so this card represents the energy of when the dark moon slips from Taurus ahead of the new moon in Gemini. When this card comes up, it's very likely you need to talk to someone. There's an issue between the two of you that's not going to go away just because you ignore it. Now, I'm just going to say one thing here. There's something else in my life that this relates to. So I feel like I've done so much work on it that I didn't even bring it up. But I know it was in my head when I was, thinking, what am I going to write down? And then I said, oh, let's work on clearing up, getting my office all organized. And I have to say my office is looking pretty amazing, but it's going to get better. And I know this is not about my office. This is not about, I doubt it's about having a communication with someone about clearing out my office. It's the cards will sometimes, if you're just trying to escape the actual issue, the cards, I'm sure if you use tarot, this happens. Okay, so, all right. Here's the thing. When we incarnate on Earth, we come here to master skills, or so the ancients taught. One of those skills is communication. And when you draw this card, it's a sign to dig deep and look at why you're communicating the way you are. Oh dear. If it's causing a problem, should you make a change? The dark moon is a time of release, offering a void before the rebirth of the new moon. And therein lies her many splendors and wonders. Good communication between souls on this plane or even another plane is one of them. There can be lots of reasons why we stop communicating well. It could be that you have faced such harsh words, you've clammed up. This card suggests you start communicating. Remember, you'll pretty much get back what you give out, so watch your energy exchange now. So last week, there's so much about communication right now. Last week, I did about 3 of these lives before my computer packed up. And 2 days in a row, I used the old Doreen Virtue Radley Valentine Angel Answers cards. And 2 days in a row, even though I shuffled, we got the Talk It Through card. And now we've got the Communicate card. So talk it through. Remember, no one said it would be easy. Stay open-minded. Keep the lines of communication open and listen. All right, so there we go. I'm afraid to say we're just still getting the same message. That's the 3rd time this week we've had a message to communicate. And actually there's someone who I've been through a bit of a rough time with in the last few months. And so when I got the Talk It Through card, I sent a message and quite an expansive communication. And I think they thought, okay, all right, okay, she's communicating. And then the next day we got the Talk It Through card again. I was like, right, actually, there's one other thing I needed to say. And then I joked at the end, hopefully I won't get the Talk It Through card again tomorrow. And then I've had the 2 days where we didn't get that card, and now we've got the communication card. So I'm going to have to think of, I actually already know what I need to say. I don't know about you. All right, so I'm actually I feel like the universe has slightly called me out on, this nonsense about I release being stuck with this mess. Yeah, okay, I do release being stuck with my mess, but I'm also going to release this other thing that has come up for me. So, you know, sometimes we try and trick the universe, and the universe is never fooled, let's be honest. So let me know what you're releasing if you want to, or just put I release in the comments and write it down where you can see it. But it's really important to write it down. That's why putting it in the comments is so powerful, for the simple reason that when you write it down, you're kind of making a commitment. So I'll use my beautiful diary. Just there's one more little plug for my beautiful 2026 diary. I would love you to get it before it sells out. It's got new moon information, full moon information, monthly astrology overview, space to write your new moon wishes, space to write your release lists, information about when the dark moon is taking place so you never miss it, all the new moon, the full moon, the quarter moon, all that. So here we go. So I said I would chant. So the chant that I like to do for the dark moon is to the dark goddess Kali, who is from the Hindu pantheon. And just because she's the destroyer goddess. So let's just destroy whatever we need to destroy. What did I put here? Okay. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Om Kaliye Namaha. Om Kaliye Namaha. Om Kaliye Namaha. Kali, dark moon goddess, we call on you to help us release whatever we need to, so we can go into tomorrow's new moon fresh as daisies and ready to set some powerful intentions for the last new moon of the year. So I'll be back tomorrow for the new moon update here on Facebook. And if you are in my mainly Moonology membership, which I hope you are, we'll be meeting up for our monthly new moon manifesting session. It's going to be a big, powerful one. Lots and lots of love, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Thank you for being here.